Hey everybody, Cuong Can Cook here, and I got a special treat for you this time. I know it's been a long time since I've made videos, and so I really needed some extra help to get something started today. We're not even going to use the Instant Pot. Right now I want to talk about making pizza, because who doesn't love pizza? Pizza is so fantastic. I've loved it as a kid, I'm sure you have too, and you probably eat a lot of it because, you know, we eat a lot of pizza. Right here, my friend, John. John is a family friend, and John knows his pizza. So John, please tell me a little bit about what you love about pizza.
Oh, well, growing up, we all obviously loved growing up eating pizza wherever you went, whether it's a birthday party or a graduation or whatever.
Friday,
or pizza Saturday.
Yeah.
There was always pizza there. We always grew to love it. I always was intrigued with trying to make my own dough and perfecting that dough, because when it comes to pizza, at the end of the day, it's all about the dough. I'm specifically going to make Neapolitan sourdough, pizza dough. I fell in love with the simplicity of just the crispness of the dough as well as the ingredients. When I say the ingredients, it's just 4 ingredients: flour, yeast, my water, and my salt.
That's really easy. Just
Yeah,
4 ingredients.
Just like that, huh? The type of flour, it's called a type 00 flour. It's different from your regular bread flour or your all-purpose flour in the fact that it's very finely milled, and it has a very high protein content, aka the gluten, which makes it
Feels
so
like
elastic.
A baby's bottom. So smooth.
Number 2, it only has 4 ingredients. Like I said, the flour, the yeast, the water, and the salt. Number 3, it has to be cooked within 60 to 90 seconds, which means your oven has to be blazing hot. Now with any oven at home, which
Yeah, a regular home oven.
at the max it gets up to 500, 550 Fahrenheit, as opposed to a wood-fired pizza or a wood-fired oven pizza, it gets all the way up to over 500, 550 Celsius, which is equal to about 1,000, 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is blazing hot.
Let's get started. So this is going to be a 2-part video. In the first part, we're going to talk about the history of pizza. We're going to make some dough. And in the second part, we're actually going to go outside, cook up some pizzas, and share it with the neighborhood. So it's going to be a lot of fun today. But as always, before we start, if you're going to ever cook with Cuong, you know that I like to stay lubed. And you know what staying lubed means, right? It means that in life, we have so much friction, stress, and other things in our life. When we're cooking, we really don't want that kind of stress or friction. And how do you deal with friction? You lubricate it. Much like in your car engine, properly lubricated cooking is the best kind of cooking. Today, since we're making pizzas, we're gonna have some nice Lagunitas IPA beer while we're cooking and while we're eating and while we're making all the pizza. So, let's get lubed.
Cheers, brother Cuong.
And we'll make our pizzas.
Start putting the water into the mixing bowl to dissolve the salt. In this case, again, I'm using a sourdough starter. Now, what you guys don't know what a sourdough starter is, it's basically a natural way to cultivate your own living bacteria. So with that said, I'm gonna add about 100 grams of the sourdough starter, so just to get the yeast in there. So what we want to do is we want to dissolve all this gunk. So
In the
what it's
water.
gonna look like, if Bethany, if you wanna come by here and kind of.
Let's take a look inside the bowl.
So you kind of want to get it to look to where it looks like a milky substance. Even you don't have to get it completely dissolved, but it's kind of gonna look like dishwashers liquid, if anything. Is I want to add the flour first, not all of it, just some, just to get it to kind of get it incorporated. So the key here is to not knead, it's more of to get all the flour incorporated and hydrated. So you kind of want to do this slowly, but at the same time, you don't want to agitate it to where the gluten starts forming yet.
I don't want to agitate that flour. You don't want to get it mad. It's like the Incredible Hulk of pizza.
So what I'm doing basically here is I'm folding it as opposed to kneading it. So again, I'm trying to get all this dry dough hydrated around the periphery. And when you get about to here, to this substance, you can add the rest of your dry flour. And then you just continue to fold.
All right, so we've incorporated the starter, the flour, the salt, the water, everything into the dough. And we're about ready to knead it. I need some pizza. I need some pizza. And I need us to stay lube.
Oh, yes. Cheers, buddy.
Because we're cooking. And now what happens next?
Okay, so as Cuong was saying, I incorporated all the dough with the liquid. So again, the most important thing was to try to get all the flour hydrated. I'm gonna do what's called a slap and fold trick. So what I'm gonna do basically,
extra for that.
Yeah. So what I do basically is I pick it up to the middle, and I slap it down.
Slap.
And then fold.
And fold.
That's it. And I keep on doing that. So I'll do this. I'll do one round about 15-20 times. I'll let it rest for about 5-10 minutes again to relax the gluten strands, and then I'll continue repeating the cycle for about 3, 4, 5 times until it gets a silky smooth tight ball. All right, so I've done the slap and fold technique and kind of repeated the cycle about 3-4 times. I don't even remember anymore. So another way, when it kind of gets tightening up, another way to knead the way I do it is I start using the palm of my hand, and what I do is I press through. Even if I tear it, it's okay. So I press through and I fold, and you just continue to do that until you get.
What are we looking for here? For it to be smooth?
That's a good indication. The other thing you want to look at is and feel is the elasticity. So if you press down and it puffs back up,
moving in,
that's a great sign.
That's good.
Yeah. So I want to do that until I get a good elasticity, but at the same time, I don't want to do it long enough to where I over knead it and it's just tough, like beef jerky, you know? From here, what I want to do is I just kind of want to turn it into a ball. So there's a few ways you can ball the dough. You can kind of fold it in within itself like this. Or the way I like to do it is I like to use the stickiness of the counter, and I grab my fingers and I push it back.
Oh, yes.
And so it'll kind of tighten up.
Yes.
And so if I do that and rotate that, it'll smoothen it. And what's cool too is you can grab all the bits that you missed. So we're gonna ball it up to where it kind of looks like this, where it's nice and smooth. And again, you kind of want to check if it's ready. A good indicator.
Oh man, look at that! How smooth it is.
And if you press down, it's gonna kind of respond back.
Back up?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll kind of get that smoother. And so what I want to do now is I want to let it rest, room temperature.
You want to put something over it? There you go.
Something like that for 3 to 4 hours, or to where it doubles up in size. It gives me and Uncle Cuong 3 to 4 hours to get lube.
Let's go.
As you can see, it's kind of increased in its volume. This because, again, the bacteria, hence the yeast, has been eating up the sugars of the dough. Therefore, it's been producing carbon dioxide, lactic acids, which is getting the dough to expand.
Man, that is a smooth ball you got there.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. So another way is I can kind of use my palm like that. They say you can ferment dough in the fridge for up to 72 to 4 days, but anything past, I think, 24, 36 hours, I think pizzaiolias are kind of just showing off, and it's just all barbecue theory and Reddit, right? So with this said, I want to put these in the fridge. I'm going to pop them out. I'm going to put these in the fridge for about 12 hours to 24 hours. I'm going to pop them out, and I'm going to take them out about 2 to 3 to 4 hours before we get started on the actual cook. So I will see you then.
Fantastic. So John, now that we've got the balls done, we're gonna let them rest and then we're gonna start cooking. So when we see you next time, on the next video, we are going to start making pizzas and sharing it with our neighbors. So everybody out there on YouTube, if you want to hang out with us, eat, Cuong Can Cook, John's here with me. We're staying lubed, we're making pizza dough. Hoping you guys are doing the same.